Hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. It is me, the Duke of Deception here. And yes, we are not started yet with this podcast, but we're about to in a second. Why am I here, though, you may ask? Because I want to give you a bit of a heads up. My audio quality in this specific preview is not ideal. So what had happened was there was an update to my drivers on my audio files, and it reset all of my default input devices for everything that records my voice, including the StreamYard that I was using to record this on. Now, my co-host did not recognize that my audio was off. I realized it was after the fact. So it is only for 2 total previews that this has happened to, and it'll be fine, is what I'm trying to say. Especially because I do think these are 2 very good episodes for you to check out. So I hope you can get through these. If not, I completely understand. Tomorrow's preview is going to be completely fine. Quality is going to be crisp. But just this one, there's a little bit of audio issues on my end, but also not the guest's end. So I'm really the only one that's going to sound a little poor, but it'll be fine. Anyway, just want to give you a heads up just so you knew that. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the We Know the Traitors podcast over here on RHAP. I'm your host, the Duke of Deception. Back here, new day, new cast member for Traitors US Season 4 to talk about. Premiere is happening January 8th, and as y'all know, the road to the premiere is just as fun before this banger of a season kicks off. We are here today to, it is winter for many of us. Winter has arrived. Snow is at many places, or just cold, you're chilly, it's hoodie weather even. It's not summer. And we're going to dip in our toes into the summer waters and go to Love Island today to talk about one Rob Rausch. And if you know anything about Love Island, you know that there was only one person to ask to join us here to talk about this. She is the CEO of any show where there are dummies on islands looking for romance. Kirsten MacInnis, one half of the Mess Magnets here today. Kirsten, how are you?
I'm great, Pooya. I'm so excited to be here. I've just been promoted to CEO, so that's great. We'll have to get that paperwork filed. Always excited when Traitors season comes and I get to bring my knowledge of someone that maybe the CBS reality viewers aren't familiar with.
And let me tell you this much. I have an inkling that this person is not going to be a controversial one for me to talk about with you. Because the last time you and I did one of these, we talked about Sam Asghari, and we all know how that went.
And you know what? This is my moment actually to stand in my truth, because I on that podcast literally was like, I think you can claim him. I was high on his chances. I thought that he might be smart on the Traitors, and people are like, I don't know about that. He was pretty smart on the Traitors, and then he comes after you. Of course, because it's like something bigger that you're saying we don't claim him as your identity.
And
but he had no thought of.
I said we'll see.
Someone was saying we could.
Yeah.
He never mentions me. Oh, that nice girl said that you could claim me.
He was focused on the Persian man in the room who said,
which is
no.
fair, which is so fair.
But also, I didn't think I said no. I think I was like, we'll see. I'm not all in yet. And then I was very complimentary after that, but that's not what got the attention. Anyway, we're here. We're going to talk about Rob Rausch, and I just think we're going to be okay here. Kirsten, am I wrong for being, and let me preface this, because while a lot of these previews I've done here for y'all, everybody, I've been in the dark on. I don't really know the person. I'm here to learn. I watched Rob's season of Love Island. Well, his second one, which was his main one, because he was a main islander, not a latecomer. Or was he in Casa Amor on that one?
He was Casa Amor in his first season. Yeah.
So for me, I'm a little bit more aware of Rob. And Kirsten, am I wrong for being kind of hyped on this casting choice?
I think he's a great casting choice. He makes good television. I think he's good casting. I'm like a little worried about him. I don't know that we're gonna get him to be very long for the game. That's my initial impression.
Okay. Yeah, because I do feel like last year for season 3, I think you, myself, a lot of people out there really assumed his season of Love Island was going to get at least a couple of people on the cast. And then we got nothing last season. And we only got him. I have to imagine this has something to do with the fact that the rest of his cast ended up on the Beyond the Villa, right?
Yeah, so I think that this filmed around the same time as Beyond the Villa. So that's what people were like, oh, well, that's why Rob's not on Beyond the Villa. But I'm pretty sure he had already declined it anyway because he felt
okay.
like based on like Instagram lives, it seemed like he thought it would be very weird to go film a show about living in LA when he has never lived in LA and has no interest in living in LA. Whereas everyone else was kind of like, we'll do this for the fans. We'll have this documentary show. And then I think a lot of people were like, wow, Rob was kind of right to not do it because I don't think the rest of the cast had a super time.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So then, honestly, kind of surprising. You'd think the free paycheck would be enticing for anybody, but he was like, listen, no, I don't need to fake this. My life's fine. And then turning that down gives him a bigger opportunity, arguably, with the Traitors.
Yeah.
So...
And he could have already been in talks to be on Traitors when he said no, right? Like we don't know if others were up for the option to be on Traitors. He's probably not my number one pick for a Love Island USA season 6 person to see on the Traitors, but he's not a bad one either. It could certainly be worse. But so for people who don't know about Love Island, there's a twist called Casa Amor, where halfway through the season, the established couples get split up. And so, like, all of the women are now living with a bunch of new single men, and all of the men are with a bunch of new single women to really test the relationship they've built to see, like, if there's something better for them. And so Rob's first reality TV appearance was Love Island USA season 5 when he was a Casa Amor guy. And he did have, like, a okay relationship with a woman named Carmen, but she did not bring him back to the villa because she was a longer situation. So like he was only on like 3 or 4 episodes of Love Island USA. And so like what we knew of him at that time was like, okay, he has kind of a dry sense of humor. He kind of nags a little bit. And that was really all we knew about him. But they then brought him back as a full cast member. So I think he must also be really easy to work with for production that they keep wanting to bring him in.
Well, it sounds like he's very direct, right? If he's like, nah, that's not for me. Like, I think that's the energy I get. I think the other part also, there is a certain charm to him. So I think that also helps. And, you know, something had to have been in the water because he does get promoted to not just like a full cast member, but starting Islander. One of the first 5 men to start the season off.
Yeah, so he starts off season 6. He was a really big character, especially at the start of this season. He formed a relationship really quickly with Leah, who I'm sure people know about Leah, who's now in like Forbes 30 under 30 and has this perfume company. She and Miguel, who she met on Love Island USA season 6, just bought a house. Like she is like famous from Love Island USA. And so they started out as a connection. He kind of gets drawn towards this other woman, Andrea, and that relationship gets cut really short because the women vote Andrea out. And so then he was kind of on the show like a little bit without a rudder, I would say. You watched season 6 as well, right? Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I feel like he was big in that relationship with Leah. Things went sideways. Then Andrea comes in. He's immediately with Andrea. Then there was the savage elimination of Andrea that really causes him to go full blown separate from the house or from the from the other Islanders, essentially. Just him and Loud and Wrong Aaron, who was on the Traitors UK. I really hope he did not pick Aaron's brain for this show because, dear Lord, I didn't even think of that. Although
even talking to someone who wasn't good at the game, I think can give you more information than talking to nobody.
I mean, it is the same castle, right? Same production company. So there could be a little bit of meta strat that he can get off of that, or at the very least get a little expectation of what to expect. But then, yeah, after that, I feel like he kind of was rudderless. He kind of was on an island for a long time. And it did feel like it took a while before we had him return back to his form on the show. Because I will say, I remember his first half very vividly, and then it was kind of a sleepy second half. I think a lot of other bigger characters took over the show after that.
It was that season was all about PPG, right? And so once he has no more connection with Leah, who's one of those three, like he just wasn't as part of the main storyline anymore. He's known for wearing overalls with no shirt, which I assume we will see overalls at some point in the Traitors. Yes.
You'd think he would do it for this outfit, for the poster. No? Why isn't he doing it for the poster?
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that he's in just like a golf polo shirt for this rather than the iconic overalls with no shirt. But I don't know, maybe Traitors is like no shirt, no shoes, no service. You have to put on a shirt. And he said, fine, I won't wear the overalls for you.
Yeah, overalls decline for now. Maybe this is him maturing for all we know.
Maybe it's just too cold in Scotland and he needs to cover up a little bit more.
Also fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So Rob Rausch's career is that he's a snake wrangler.
A fear of mine made into a career is a choice for sure. But not only do I not want to be around snakes, this man, his job is to grab them. No thanks.
And if you watch his social media, and this is the other thing too, like he will post a lot of TikToks like in the wilderness where he lives, grabbing wild animals. And then he'll do a bunch of TikToks at like some event in Vegas or at Stagecoach or something. But once he's done like some sponsored content and is like around everyone, then he disappears. Like he has not posted on TikTok since October after he did like some sponsored content in some event in Vegas.
That's so fascinating to me. Because
he's a strange guy.
Yeah, just made his money and left.
And I think like if I had to describe him in any way, I would say that like Rob Rausch is like the king of the side quest. Like I get the impression that he's like a why the hell not kind of guy. And so like he'll go on Love Island. I'm assuming they recruited him from Instagram. Like he'll go on Love Island. He'll go play Love Island again. He'll go on the Traitors, but he won't like pretend he lives in LA. Like it's just he goes on all of these quests, and I think that that's what Traitors is for him. And so I think that he will try to play the game, but he might not care about the game that much. And I'm just like, I'm not seeing very many natural connections for him on the cast. Like Maura Higgins will know him because she hosts the like side talk show for Love Island USA. So he will have met her at least once.
Well, what can we say about do you think that they know each other? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or are they not going to work? They're going to clash.
I mean, I think that they might have to work together because they both don't know as many people on the cast. And so it just depends on if people like that are going to be scooped up as votes and alliance members, or if they're going to be easy banishments, easy vote outs because nobody really knows them. Nobody really cares that much.
Yeah, I don't like my thought was because I definitely do not remember. And I feel like by now we would have gotten clips of it or something on socials. I don't think Maura's going to be running around being like, do not trust this man. He is awful. I don't think that's happening. I feel like they're probably going to be cordial at the very least.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting with Rob here is that there's two other Love Islanders that have graced the castle in Scotland, to my knowledge, or to my memory. We got Bergalicious, aka Bergie, and we had Ekin-Su. Now, do you think that Rob, and obviously Aaron for UK, but that was before he was an Islander. How do you think Rob will stack up? Because I feel like Bergie leaves the castle as one of the most beloved castmates of that season. And Ekin-Su leaves because she got poisoned overnight in plain sight because Parv thought that's the only person I can get this handed to, which to her point was very accurate. So what do you think Rob's legacy looks like here?
I don't personally see Rob having any like hero edit episodes. Like Bergie had that one episode with the challenge in the graveyard where it was like he saved the day and like got all this money for the pot. Like I don't know that I see Rob having any moments like that, but I also don't know if he would be like an option for an in plain sight type situation. So I think he might be in the middle of like murder compared
Overnight?
to and Bergie. I think that he could easily be banished and I think he could be easily murdered at night. So that's why I worry that he's not long for the game.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't see a potential Pilot Pete upside. Well, actually, before we get there, do you think he's going to end up being, I assume, faithful based on your prediction here?
My guess would be faithful just based on like how many other options there are here for traitors. Like I can't I think that they are probably going to continue what they've been doing, where at least 2 of them are from CBS shows. And so then in my brain, when there's only one other slot left, I'm like, is it going to go to Rob or is it going to go to like a housewife, which they didn't do last year. And then the housewives got completely annihilated one after the other. Like,
yeah,
I think they're going to want a housewife in the turret rather than him.
So my prediction is I've like gone back and forth with the third spot, but 2 of my spots are reserved for a housewife and Donna Kelsey. I'm convinced that they're 2 of our starting traitors. And then the third one could go to CBS. It could go to Johnny Weir to bring that Winter Olympics like synergy into it. It's possible. I also didn't see it going to Rob Rausch either.
The idea of Donna Kelsey as a traitor is taking me out because I feel like she would be the first murder.
Apparently, well, that's why I think they want to protect her, and the housewives. Well, what's funny is, so without giving up when we're recording this, a commercial did get rolled out with Donna Kelsey featured in it for the Traitors during Sunday Football. And then I started seeing posts about, apparently she is a big fan of the franchise, has watched like all the English speaking ones or a decent amount of them.
Okay.
So now I'm like, yeah, I'm even more convinced you're going to end up being a traitor. I just don't see it being any other way.
Or even if she's not a traitor, people might just keep her around to get to know Taylor Swift. But that's not this podcast. I'll leave that in the capable hands of other podcasters to talk about Donna Kelsey.
Well,
wow. I hope we don't get robbed of that then if she really knows her stuff.
I think I can picture her being in the turret. So we'll have to see if that premonition does ring true. Now, what I want to ask you, Kirsten, is you and I have a very mutual friend on this cast, a boss / friend / co-host at times. Rob Cesternino's in this house, the other Rob in the castle. And so how do you think the 2 Robs would connect?
Okay, so I don't think that they will get along. And here's why. Our Rob C, we know and love him. He's so funny and he's so good at talking to literally everybody. But the problem is Rob Rausch has this like very dry, sometimes a little bit mean sense of humor that he dishes out, but he cannot take it back. So I think that it's like, I could see our Rob getting lulled into kind of a false sense of security of like, oh, we're joking around. We're having a good time.
Buds.
And then he jokes back at Rob, literally with the same intensity that Rob Rausch gives to him. And then Rob Rausch is like,
offended.
What's wrong with you? Like there was on Love Island USA season 6. I think it was Rob in Casa Amor, possibly, or shortly after. I cannot remember the woman that he's talking to. She's a blonde lady. I could see her in my mind, but I cannot remember her name. And they're like talking about snakes and kind of joking because like he's a snake wrangler and he's all these snake tattoos, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, oh yeah, I'm not scared of snakes. I'm sitting next to one right now. And Rob is like so offended at that comment that I can just see our Rob saying like literally nothing offensive, like nothing bad at all, just making a joke. Like they're vibing, they're chuckling, they're having a good time. And then Rob Rausch is like, I cannot believe you would say that to me. And like, then it causing a problem.
Well, that's definitely not going to be good, because if someone makes a snide comment at a round table and he doesn't take that well, that could spell his exit from the game.
Yeah, and that's also part of why I don't think that he would do great with this cast specific. Like, I just don't see that many easy or natural alliances for him. Like,
who are some of the ones you do see?
I think his best bet is if like Stephen Coletti and Colton Underwood want to like bro it up. And like, that's unholy, you know?
Well, one of the predictions we had by one of the the guests was that Stephen Coletti is going to be taken under the Rob Cesternino wing because he's going to be clueless. So in a weird world, if the bros do bro down, could we see 2 Robs and a bro down?
Wow. I mean, never say never. I don't know. I just like
you want to say never so bad. You want to
never say never,
so
but like maybe not. But it's also like, it's from what we've seen, like Rob Rausch also is not like, from what I've seen, and I get pretty well informed on the Love Island USA stuff. Like, no one's ever reached out to me to be like, look at this video of Rob Rausch like saying something problematic or like doing something hateful. So it's like,
he kind of went back to his life after everything.
He just went back to his life after. Then he went back to Love Island. Then he went back to his life, and now he like does some events and some stuff. So like,
right,
it's chill. He almost certainly will not know who Rob is. I think he's going to be fairly confused about the identities of most of these people. Like, I don't get the sense that he's watching reality TV. So I think that he might not have a clue.
Yeah. Well, who do you think? So we talked about who you think he could end up aligning with or working best with. Who do you think he would clash with the most? Who's like the number one you see this being his like worst connection?
I think maybe Monet Exchange.
Ooh.
Because Monet knows about all these shows. Monet knows these people. Monet knows what's going on, knows what's doing Traitors. And Monet is not going to be, I don't think Monet's going to be like loud or as assertive as Bob was last season. But I could see Monet clashing a little bit with Rob.
That would be a magical clash at the if it's our.
It would be beautiful. It would be so beautiful. I just don't see Monet Exchange having patience for a Rob Rausch type.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you there. So as far as some of the other people that you are familiar with and do know, how do you want to do like a quick fire? How you feel about how they would do, how Maura would do, how the CBS folk would do?
Ooh, well, Ian Terry's, that's my baby, so I need him to succeed. I'll be so sad.
Did you see the Ian Terry photos from this past week?
Yeah, well, I saw someone very thirsty reposting Ian Terry in a hot tub on Blue Sky.
Yeah, I saw the comments that corresponded with it too.
Yeah.
People were yearning for that hot tub.
And you know what? The me who watched Ian Terry on BB14 would be yearning for it too, but I've grown up since then.
All right. Yes.
I'm very curious to see how Mark Ballas does now, as I'm a new Dancing with the Stars fan, and so I don't know him, but I'm very excited to get to know him through Traitors. I think Maura will be good as long as no one pisses her off.
Okay.
And then who else is here from CBS? I've got them right in front of my face. I have great faith in Natalie Anderson to succeed at anything she attempts in this world. I think that there could be bloodshed in the CBS though, because I think that Tiffany Mitchell might go in wanting to really prove the chops that she has.
Okay. Do you think, so you mentioned that you thought there could be a continuation of the meta with 2 CBS folk being Traitors. Who are your 2?
Ooh. I think Tiffany.
Okay.
I mean, I think Tiffany and Natalie or Tiffany and Jam Jam would be very, very fun. I know I personally would love to see Rob C as a traitor, but I feel like maybe he wouldn't have wanted to do that. So I don't know if they would give it to him or not. But I think Rob C as a traitor would be like peak television. It's tough. I think Tiffany would be up there for sure in the turret. I think that's the easy CBS choice.
Well, if you are going one from Big Brother, one from Survivor, I think between Ian and Tiffany, you go Tiffany 100%. That's kind of what I would assume they would do.
Ian doesn't give traitorous vibes. I think he would be good at it. I think he would be completely capable, and he has a really strong strategic mind. Like, I think he'd make good choices of who to murder. But I just don't think he has that like villain edge so much. Like, he gave it that in that like one goodbye message to Boogie, right? That he bounced checks in the Big Brother house. But other than that, like, I remember as being so wholesome and good and not evil.
I don't know. He looks like he's more no nonsense now, though. Look at him.
He looks very no nonsense. But does that mean traitor? I don't know about that.
I don't know. I feel like that's the other thing for me is after the success of the Carolyn pick last year and them putting someone that no one would expect to be a traitor, I fully anticipate them trying to get at least one or two people in that turret that would be that energy of like, no one's going to see this coming. Versus, because I think if you want to capture that energy, the wrong thing to do is to just put your chalk pick best strategic people from the CBS shows in there. So that's why I'm looking for some more rogue shouts. That's why Donna would be great. I think Dorinda would be an interesting one because, like, yeah, you're not dying first again. We're not going to let that happen. So get in the turret. So anyway, we'll see how that plays out. Is there anything else, Kirsten, that you want to speak on with regards to either Rob Rausch or the Traitor Season 4?
No, I'm just super excited to see how this plays out, and I cannot wait to be watching every single week. It's Thursday nights, right? Correct?
Should be Thursday nights. Yeah, we're going to kick off with 3 episodes on the premiere night, and then 2 episodes on week 2, and then 1 episode a week after that until it is all said and done. So
can't wait.
Clear your all's calendars because who knows? I hope we get more Rob opportunities after this. Am I wrong? I mean, Rob C. But if this is the only time we're getting him back, we got to savor the moment. So
100%.
Yeah. Well, Kirsten, let the people know, what do you do outside of talking to me about Love Island here? Give your plugs or projects that may be going on. If you notice, I didn't say what I usually would say because this is going to be released at a time that I'm not sure about. So I wouldn't want to tell you about, hey, plug what you're doing now, and then you're not doing that thing.
Yeah. Well, basically until the hot dummies come back and until Big Brother, Mess Magnets is the only show in town for me. Me and Sasha Joseph are there talking pop culture, celebrity gossip, trending topics. It's very fun. We're also providing exclusive additional content to the patrons at patreon.com/messmagnets. And you can follow me everywhere at Kirsten Said What, so that when the next show comes up that I'm covering, you won't miss it because I'll post about it.
Yes, and when Kirsten is not busy with the Mess Magnet, she occasionally joins me over on the 90 Day Fiance feed. We know 90 Day, where I jump around the different seasons of 90 Day to Goldilocks to figure out which one is the one we're covering. So make sure you check that out. You can find me on all socials at Pooyaism, twitch.tv/Pooya. I will be there every Thursday to watch these episodes alongside y'all because we only get Rob back once. You only get to talk about your co-host before he gets back into the podcast room once. So make sure you tune in for those. And of course, me and Liana speak every week over on the Pooya and Liana Lounge. So make sure you tune into that as well. And with Traitors US, there's also Traitors UK coming out that same week or the 1st of January. So Traitor season is fully out there. If you are not subscribed to this feed, make sure you do so. WeKnowTraitors.com. I appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow with yet another cast member for the Traitors Season 4. But until then, y'all take care. Have a good one.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.